Hello friends, this is Navdeep Mehta and welcome to AI. And today we shall continue with our project that we are already working, and that is job survey prediction. This is the part 5 of our project. If you didn't watch our last 4 part, then I request all of you that first watch the last 4 part 1, 2, 3, 4, then come to this lecture, because we are dealing with the basic, that one who cannot know anything about any one concept, then he can know. Okay, so let's start. As in our previous lecture, what we deal, we have deal at this position that we are just calculating the correlation between contact type and contact type, and basically they are highly correlated. So one of them are deleted. So vision deleted. We should delete our contact type. Why contact type? Because it has more number of missing value. So at this point you all are clear. If you're watching the last 4 lecture, doesn't watch, then first watch. Now after that we have to oh, 1 minute guys. Okay. Now after that, as you see here, first you print this one, okay, and see what happens. Now here you see these all are of the type object, but we have to divide it in the integer part, like 0 1, or category part that is indicated. It is different category present in it. Suppose there is one that is height of people, then one category a small height of people, another medium height, and another is highest height. So like that, here we have to divide the each of the object part into the category part. For that, we using for level and content in df.item. So this line used to store the value along with the column. Suppose one column is a company, so it is just store the company value first, company value, Celera is first value, and another one is like title, first value. Like that, it is going to store the first value of each and every column, and then it is check if it is a string. If it the type of that value is a string, it can say yes, it is a string. Then it will convert that into the object, and the whole data set that are of object type where a string value is present, these all are converted into which type? They all are converted into category type. So let's see how it happens. First run this code, then run this code. Now you see the all are converted into category part. I don't know what was the most use of this, but I have seen this code, so I have show you all of that. That see these things can happen. Okay, you can do this operation. I don't know what was the effect of the result take place in it. I think there is no any changing, but you can know it as for the knowledge. Now this line is important, guys. So as you see, you have learned about one hot in coding. In that, if there are 3 categories in a single column, like it can be 0 1 and 1 is deleted. If 0, then it 1, then it indicate to the first category. If second is 1, first one is 0, then it indicate to second category. If both are 0, then it indicates the third category if there is any object present in a data set. But guys, suppose if you have thousands of different categories in a single data set, then in that what can you do? There's a two things. 1 minute. There's a two things you do. Either you do one-hot coding, or you can take the top 10 most frequent value, but this will decrease in the result. So this code is used to not increase the column size. If suppose, let me open a whiteboard. Uh, if suppose you have categories x, y, z, w, wx, y, z, and in your data set it is arranging like that. wx w by z wx by z wx by z wx z by wx, like that it is in the data set. So it will start with first one, it is a w. Okay, this one the new, it indicates it here. It replace this w with 0. Now again it's a x, then it a new category, that 1. Then against the w that is already presented with 0, then it make it 0. It by new one 2. Sorry, it start with 1. Okay, you can start with 0 like that, anything. No, let me show you. It start with 1. Okay. So w 1 2 1 3, because x is new variable, z is new variable 4, then 1, then it indicates 2, z3, z4, w 1 2 by 3 z4 w1 x2 z4 3 1 2, like that it is a start replacing the category value with 1 2 3. If it new value found, it will make a new number. If old value found, then it will assign what the value assigned to that category. Here you see w is assigned with 1, so every place w will be replaced with 1. X is assigned with 2, so at each and every place x is replaced with 2. So in that way we can categorize our data set without increasing the column number, and this code will do the same operation. So let's run it. Now I am showing you how it changes, it starting with 1 how and ending with the maximum value how. Let's take the example of Salira. First we need to add a new column, sorry, one new running box. So here we have to df salary normalized, okay, dot mean. Now you check 1. If we use max, then it will assign h 8102. Okay, and now if there are total unique value in Selenium normalized is 8102, so it will indicating this. Okay, so after doing these things, let's move to the next topic, that is B. After doing these all the things, now we are come at the position that where we have to split our data set into the four category: train, extrain, extest, bytrain, bytest. So let's do it. So for that, firstly you have to import a scale and model selection. In that you have to import train test split. As a TTS, we have given a assign to that whenever we use TTS, that it understand that it is a train test split. So xtrain, xtest, bytrain and bytest. We use this different four variable. Okay. Now TTS means train test split. DF Suddenly normalized axis is equal to 1. Okay. Drop suddenly normalized. It means ki in the train value we should delete, but we should delete suddenly normalized, else all value remain in that, and according to the x is equal to 1. In the second one, we have to delete, we have keep only salary normalized, so we are using the df salary normalized, so that in the test part only save salary normalized, and in the train part all the values saved in that data set except salary normalized. Test size equal to 0.20 means that 80% of the data will store as salary normalized, and 20% of data is stored as test training testing purpose. So this means 80% as training of the model and 20% as testing of the model. Okay, and random state 42 is like that. If you use also 42, if you going to train test a split, then if you use random state 42, then the value we had in our train is also in your data set. The value which you test in our data set is also in your data set. Okay, so after doing this OR operation, let's move to the linear regression part. So here you see we have to predict sadly, not a categorical type. It is a continuous value that changing. So we use all the algorithm which belongs to the regression problem. Okay. Now first we have to import linear regression. Then we have just used LL is equal to linear regression LL dot fit extend by train, and just we have to train our model. LR dot fit, this is used to train the model. Okay, so first we train our model, then we are after training our model we are going to predict our model part by the different value predict by our model. So this command is used to predict the Sally normalized value in our value that is present in our X test. So it is going to use X test part and going to predict the salary of different value present in that. Now it predict that is predicting the salary of different value that is present in our test data set. Let me show you our test data set here. X test. Okay. So here you see. So it first one is 71271 title, 442 location, contract time 2 13493 is company categories and salary normal. For this it predict a salary of 5041 rupees. Okay, it may be in the UK. Now after that we should check that in mean absolute error it will do what I will tell you. So suppose we have five value 20, 25, 20, 30, 35. This is the original value. Okay, original, and in predicted it is like 25, 30, 20, 30 and 30. Okay, so we should firstly calculate the average of this all value, and it is like 30 to 50, 70 and 70, and it is like 70, 140, 2 to 4 to 6, 6, 9, 9 to 12, 2 to 4 to 6, 6, 9, 9 to 12, 130. And in that calculate 5, 3 to 5, 5 to 7, 7 to 30, 135. So it will going to subtract these two things. Now it will be divided by average. We have to find the average. So it is like 1, 2, 3, 5. To divided by 5, that is comes equal to 2 and 26, and it is around 227. So here you see this is mean absolute error is 27 minus 26 is equal to 1. So it is going to give us the average difference between the actual value and the predicted value. What is going to give? Average difference between actual and predicted value. Okay, so here here we use mean absolute error to calculate the average error in our training set. Okay, we have divided two parts, training and testing. So in training, we observe 1669.44 as mean absolute error, that is average difference between the actual value and predicted value. And if we talk about the tested, then it is also the same. Okay, now we again use another model, that is random forest regression. What is random forest classifier? That is for used for classification problem. Here our problem regression, so I am using regression. So random forest regression, we are doing the same job. First we train the model, predict the model, calculate the mean absolute error, and here you see in training phase our mean absolute error is 66. And if we talk about the tested, then it is 176. Okay, so it is highly benefit as compared to linear regression. Then we use k-never regressor for predicting the same thing, and here we predict as our mean absolute error is 604, and for testing it is 762. Now again we use decision tree regressor, and here you see that if we talk about the training, then in training it just gives 0, no error, and in testing it gives 183. So as per see, which is our best model? This one, linear regressor, sorry, random forest regressor is our best model as per our see all the difference, because giving the difference of 0 is also a not sign that it is the best model, because in training you get an error of 0 and in testing you get an error of 183. It can lead to that case of overfitting. Okay, so after analysis we come across that yes, this model is best. Which one? This linear random forest regression. So in our next lecture that we are going to start, in that I am going to show you hyper tuning in the random forest regression. Okay, that what was the now here see there are a lot of value, max depth, max feature. So what are the best value we should import here, right here, so that we can get the maximum efficiency in our random forest regression model. And in the last I will show you the which future importance. Okay, so here you see, first you see that future 0 has very less importance. Now one of the future 2 has around 859 importance. But as you see here, you have not so much clear that what was the feature 2, what is the feature 3. So here we have write a function that will going to calculate the future importance of each value in our data set and going to plot. Okay, so here is the x train dot columns. X train columns means the columns of train model, that is cellular titles, and model dot feature importance, that means that model dot feature importance. Now as you see in the upper part we have used model in our which no sgd we use model you know. Here see, we have used random forest regression, so here feature importance will be according to the random forest regression, and n is 22 is a parameter. Okay, so now df dot pd dot data frame future is equal to columns, but in the future parts the columns we're going to store. Okay, and in the future importance it is going to store what, the importance, that the value of that future is 0.00323, like that it is going to store. Okay, after that it is going to sort the value according to the ascending order of according to the ascending order of the future importance, and the rest of the index in that is going to drop. So the first column, here you see, this is going to store with columns named like title, company. This is going to store with the each important like 852.0.0032, like that it is going to store. Now it is arranged according to the ascending order, and the rest of the index present in that is going to delete. Now we use PLT plot function to plot the graph. Here we use parameter 0 to 20, 0 to n, like that n is 20. On x level, x level of our future, and y level is future importance value. So it is future importance value, and you see salary rise 0.8, and here you see it is also 859. So here you see salary play an important role. The rest of that are useless, like that you see location nominalized has 0% of the use. Contract time is somewhat heavy usage because contract time has highest salary. And second was category is also playing some role. And we see that company title location is not playing a big role in predicting our data. So here you can see the future importance. Now in the next lecture we are going to see hyperparameter, and just a recap of all the code we are using in that to predict our value.